Hello and welcome to today's broadcast. We are broadcasting today in the middle of Sunday chores. So this is pre-recorded for when you're watching this and probably Wednesday's video as well. There's a lot going on behind the scenes with clients. So rather than not produce content for you, which is my passion, is helping you get what you need to be better, I decided that it may be easier for me to just come on and pre-film a couple of episodes for you. And with the focus being for the next two episodes, what to do when you feel like you want to quit. Or if maybe you're in a situation that is less than optimal and you can't figure out if you should stay or if you should quit. Now, maybe about 3 weeks ago, 2 to 3 weeks ago, I did a class to help you navigate if you should stay or if you should quit. And specifically, if you can't quit, then what do you do if you have to stay, but maybe you're burned out, stressed out, feeling all of the things? So if you want the replay to that, then I have all of the lessons. It was 7 days of lessons. I have that in my brand new Facebook group. So make sure you join the Facebook group once this is over. But within the lessons that I provided, one of the things that I provided for them that I'm going to share a little bit with you is how you can decide if you're in a situation and maybe you just need to quit. Now, as you know, although I'm here teaching you all the things about the internal psychology and mindset to be a better leader, I also focus it on teaching you things that not only help you to perform optimally in your professional life, but to also learn how to be the best that you can be in your personal life. So it means that you're a leader anytime you step into anything that you do, and you're leading from what I call the power place. So for today, the first tip that I'm going to give you, if you're in a situation and you're trying to decide if you should quit or give up, is to ask yourself this question. Are your heart and your mind aligned? This is important. I can talk about this from a spiritual standpoint. I can talk about it from a personal development standpoint, or I can also talk about it from a scientific standpoint. But the bottom line is that most of the time, especially in science and healthcare and technology, we've been taught to approach life from our mind. And if you don't understand that the mind is a tool that is not a part of you, that you can leverage to actually have everything that you want in life, then you're missing half the point of using your mind. And a lot of us haven't been taught that our mind is not us. So therefore, we let our mind control the way that we navigate and move and show up in life without even thinking about what our heart wants. And a lot of times there's this incongruence between the heart and the mind that needs to be rectified in order for you to figure out if you need to move forward or not. And a lot of the times, if you don't know how to create that connection, or understand that connection, or understand how to interpret the signals that are coming through your mind versus coming through your heart, and whether they're in alignment or not, you often just go through life on autopilot, being pulled through life, just life pulling you in a more reactive mode, in a more la-di-da mode. I just go with the flow type mode, rather than having more of a creative power over the things that happen to you. So are your heart and your mind aligned? And you cannot overlook that. From the time that we come out of the womb and all the schooling that we have to endure, we are bombarded with information and viewpoints and conditioning that starts to create how we show up in life via our thoughts, via our beliefs and our attitude. And these are usually linked to not only how I explained how we use our own mind to navigate life, but the people that teach us, the people that condition us, also haven't been taught otherwise. So they teach us through their mind. And most of the time, if you don't understand the connection, the mind and the heart are not always aligned. And so you end up doing things that your parents have conditioned you to do. And this is subconscious, so you may not even know it. What your parents have conditioned you to do, what society tells you should do. Or maybe you should stay in this leadership position because it's more prestige, more power, more money, all of the things. Or maybe you should continue to push when maybe you need to step back and draw. And so what you end up doing is living so much for other people or living so much for other things that you start to lose sight of who you are. I want you to understand this before it's too late, because most of the time when leaders are coming to me for coaching and mentorship, they're coming to me at a point where they waited. It's not too late, but they put up with being disconnected from their true self for too long. And the problem with being disconnected from yourself is that you usually wake up one day disenchanted by where you are, and you look around you and you think the problem is everything outside of you, but really a lot of it has to do with your internal psychology. And the problem is also that you could be working towards something that is not even something that you desire deep down, meaning that your heart is not aligned with what you thought that you wanted or needed in order to be fulfilled or be successful. But the mind is powerful. And since we've been taught to only approach life through our mind, it ultimately is creating, manifesting, materializing, pulling us toward the things that it believes is true and possible for us versus what our heart is telling us to do. And so our hearts most of the time ends up being overridden by the mind, and you end up chasing things that ultimately have nothing to do with you. And especially in society where we're taught to never give up, never quit, keep going, push, hustle, you may think that, oh, I don't like these things. My heart is telling me no. I'm scared to take the leap in another direction that my heart is pulling me because of all these things that the mind is telling me to do. And so you end up stuck. So to counter this, you have to learn how to rebuild that connection to who you truly are, to your heart, to your soul, because that is what is truly going to play a part in the future successes that you realize in this world. Your feelings or your heart, once you restore that connection or really learn how to hear that connection, should be first in command. And then from there, you use your mind as a tool to check in to see, okay, is this something I could do, and how do I do it? Your mind is more of my heart is telling me this, so how can I use my mind to help make this desire come to life? That's when you know you're in true alignment. But if your mind is holding you back or stopping you from growth or stopping you from being uncomfortable or going out on a ledge and can tell you all the different things why things are not going to work, you probably are not moving in a direction that is incongruent with the personal success that is available for you at your true potential. So the heart should be the first thing that you check in with. And if it doesn't feel right in your heart, once you have that connection, you have to have that connection. If you've been disconnected for a while, you may need help navigating your way back to yourself. So once you have that connection, then you're going to have some soul searching that you need to do, because your heart, once you get that unlocked, it doesn't lie. But it could have you, but your mind could have you sneakily doing things that go against your heart, and you may not even notice this happening. Again, your mind is second in command, and it's more of a tool for you to be able to move toward the desires of your heart. True power comes from being aligned in your heart and your head, or to say it another way, your feelings and your thoughts. For those of you that are more scientific, your feelings and your thoughts should be in alignment behind anything that you do. And the more that you can show up in the present with your thoughts and your feelings being in alignment, is the better that you're going to be able to move along a path that is meant for you with less resistance, more ease, more balance, less stress, all of the things. Pursuing anything in life, from small things to bigger goals, when you feel good about them, makes it easier for you, especially if you are learning to use your mind as the powerful tool that it is, to not stop you or ruminate or think about all of the things about why you should and shouldn't do something, why you could and couldn't do something, and instead check in with your heart. This is what I want. Mind, help me get there. Help me figure it out. Then you miss an element, because your mind is not the commander in chief. Your heart is, your soul is. And when this happens, when you understand how to do this, then you are unstoppable. You only need these two blocks, not these two blocks. How can I say this? Let me just look at what I wrote in my notes. You only have two building blocks that you need to move mountains, and you're more likely to spend your time and energy and things like that on what matters to you the most if you learn about these two building blocks that are available to you. And it is your mind and your heart coming together before you do anything. And if they are together and in alignment, you're going to understand and watch your power unfold. So to close out our first discussion on this topic, if you are in a position where, and it could be life, it could be personal, it could be professional, whatever. But if you're in a situation where you're pushing against something and you're trying to decide whether you should stay or quit or keep going or quit, then I want you to integrate this tool and see how that magic unfolds. And again, if you need help with this, if you need help getting back to yourself so that you can learn how it feels to really live in alignment and have the life you want, the career you want, all the things, and feel like you're doing it in flow, then make sure you reach out to me and we can talk more about working together. Otherwise, check out the next episode on Wednesday, because I'm going to teach you one more thing that you can do if you're in this position and you want to be able to decide, should I keep going or